Okay, it's April 24th. It's been 2 weeks since the last update. Last week we were gone on vacation, so weren't here. And there's quite a few changes that happened. As you can see, all the leaves popped out in a tremendous way. So the first pear tree here, it's hard actually to remember what it looked like because it's been such a long time since I was here. But all the blooms have a lot of them have went to the past bloom stage or whatever it is, but there's still a bunch of them that are in bloom. Some of them still that are still in the little popcorn stage. Whole lot of leaves obviously popping out. That's a good thing. And we can see kind of how the development of some of the knobs and stuff are. Some of the big fat ones like that came up and became just a bunch of leaves. It looks like it's going to be all leaves, just like in this one here. It was all leaves, and they're from that knobby thing. But then the other knobby things produced ones that had flowers on them. So not really sure exactly how you would tell the differences between all those. But anyway, there they are. So quite a big difference. Still putting out some more leaves and whatnot. But yeah, a lot of green on there now. So then when we look to our cherry tree, huge amount of difference because obviously it's a big tree anyway. But yeah, all those tiny little leaves that were there last time starting to open are all open. All the flowers have budded or bloomed, sorry. And then some of them have went and fallen all the way back. Some of them are still out, kind of in the middle stages there. It's kind of interesting. I was noticing that this interesting looking part right there, where the flowers there, then I guess that was I guess if I look at it, that was probably the original bud that was swollen when it popped open. And see, some of them popped open and have just leaves, and some of them, when they popped, had the clusters too. So lots and lots of flowers, which will mean lots and lots of cherries. Unfortunately, some of them too tall to reach, but tons and tons of cherries will be here. So assuming that they all make it. But anyway, yeah, just phenomenal difference. Cannot believe that the difference in just 2 weeks. All those leaves popping out. So apple tree, it has obviously a ton of leaves too. The blooms on it, there are still some that are still just starting to bloom. In the here we can see like the beginning stage, like the red tip, and then where the white's, or it's starting to open and show the white, and then fully open and way open, and then past open, whatever all the technical names are and stuff. But you can definitely see on the overall structure how much easier it is to prune these things when there's no leaves in the way, because now everything looks kind of crazy, and you see this here and you can't tell who's what and all that. So I can definitely see how beneficial it is to be pruning when there's nothing on there. Man, there's just so much growth. It's so amazing. I mean, it was only a month ago that this was just virtually nothing but swollen buds, if that. So it is very, very amazing to see. So anyway, yeah, we've got lots of stuff. Here's our red tips, more apple, more white. So hopefully everything will go well with this one this year. We'll have some apples and we'll go from there. So next is our white peach tree. It's all of its blooms are done. They've already petered out. They're just hanging out there. It's starting to kick out its leaves. It's looking good. No new problems and whatnot. So yeah, it doesn't have a tremendous amount of green growth as the others, but it's still there, cracking along. So we'll see how the difference goes there. Here's our other pear. It's there. growth, same thing. Lots of leaves, the buds here, all those clusters of flowers and the leaves. Uh-oh. Looks like we got a hole there. A couple of them have a hole. Okay, well, we might need to look into that. See if that's just what's going on there. That's not good. Yeah. Okay. Have to look into that. So here's that big, huge cluster. It's going to have a ton of fruit on it, but is really just a huge. It'll be a huge load on the tree. So at some point we'll probably have to take some of this off here to strengthen this up, make this stronger. But anyway, so it looks like we got some quite a few leaves with the holes in them. So just have to keep an eye on it and see what's going on. Thing to always be aware of. That's another reason to come out, and I wanted to come check the trees often so I can see what's going on, nip this in the bud, as they say. That's a growing joke there. Okay, so here is our apricot tree. All the flowers have already bloomed and gone, and when I was looking around, much to my surprise, when I was looking at the leaves and looking at some of the stuff, there they are, the apricots. So we will have apricots this year. That is wonderful, wonderful news, because with the early bloom and the frost and all that, we weren't sure what was going to happen, but looks like they're all there. So it's just weird that we happened to be gone during the time that they all popped out, but there are a few of them that did not yet. So you can see the finished one there. It's kind of a little difficult to see because it's green on green, but you can see here where this was a flower, and you can see the brown petals and the brown stamen or whatever things there falling off, but there's the green fruit right there. You can see it here too, where it's actually changing into a fruit there. It's kind of really cool, I think, to see it there as well. But that's what they look right there. And there are a bunch of them over there and all over. It's hard to see because it is green on green, but we'll wait a little bit and then see how big we should let them get before we go and thin some of them, so that way we don't have quite so many all at the same time, and also to get a better quantity yield on them. See, these ones are pretty fairly good space. There's 3 of them at a time, but some of the spots, they just went crazy. The spot up there and the thing, there's about a dozen of them that are already formed. There's a bunch more that are flowering there. The flowers still haven't turned into, but if all of those happen, it's going to be way too much. You can see there too, another ton of them all there. So we'll go through and thin some of those out. But apart from that, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty fairly thin as it is, so that's good. So that we don't have to go back and remove all that stuff. So anyway, that's just the biggest excitement, I guess, besides all the leaves, is the key. That's the whole reason we're doing this, is to get that fruit there. Yeah, and you can see that there. Very, very cool. Okay, so let's check on the raspberries. And once again, a ton of green growth going on, or the leaves kicking out. Just so much, so bushy, and they just look so dark green there. And you can actually, what do we got going on here? There are the little guys right there. I'm assuming those are going to be flowers, which will be fruit. Honestly, I can't remember if these guys had flowers already or what, but I'm guessing that is going to be our fruit. I don't know how much you can see and tell here, but after between the update between last time and now, I went through and thinned out all the old canes. There's quite a few of them that were from several years ago. Ones that look like this. I just had to go in and pull them out, cut them out, and clean it out a bit. I didn't get it all done, but I did do a bit of it there, which is good that I did when I did, because now all these leaves everywhere would make it a lot more difficult to go through there. So expecting a good crop this year. So I'm probably still going to need to go through and clean up some of the stuff in the back away from the house. That way we can kind of get it into a more manageable line and be able to pick it, because right now it's difficult to pick from both sides since it's growing all the way up to the house and whatnot. And see around the corner, so a huge lush growth here from the old stuff, and then the newer stuff, which is just started to spread since the past couple years. Pretty sparse. We've got all kinds of foreign things in there we need to get rid of. But a few things growing and growing and growing. And a little dead thing there is where I tried to do a transplant. It didn't work. Tried to transplant a raspberry bush. It didn't work. But now I know. I don't know what I did wrong, but anyway. And since we're already out here, we'll look at the strawberries, because they are starting to put up some flowers. See the white flowers there going through. Looks like they'll be pretty healthy. We'll see how they turn out this year, if they're going to turn out to taste good or what, but we are starting to get some flowers, and that's great.